first day of February, which is kind of crazy, but we're gonna play with Paper Funday challenges. Now, my desk looks like a hot mess, and that's because our challenge this month is to use no patterned paper, which is kind of crazy, right? Like, as scrapbookers and card makers and whatever, whoever's watching this video, patterned paper is a big deal. So I'm having to go through and pick some colors that will go with my idea. Now, the collection that I'm basing this off of is Snow Much Fun by Doodlebug. Now, they didn't say anything about ephemera. I can use whatever ephemera I want as long as it's just not patterned paper. So, part of the collection is the bits and pieces, and they just have a ton of snowflakes in here. And it's winter. I really want to play with this collection, even though I've already played with it in a class, and you'll see an unboxing video for that soon. But I needed to color match these because maybe I'll use some of these snowflakes or something on the layout. And so I went through and I used my Distress Oxide chart and my inks to swatch and see which one works best. So I think I've determined that Storming Sky, Faded Jeans, Blueprint Sketch, Milled Lavender, Dusty Concord, Crackled Pistachio, Peacock Feathers, and Lost Shadow are the colors that I'm going to go ahead and use. Now we're going to use a technique that I learned from Vicky Booten. This is by no means a new technique, but what I am going to do is the Boka Technique. So what you need is your colors and a piece of paper with holes in it. Now I used my dies. You can 100% use your punches for this. You also can draw a circle if you really wanted to. But you need your circles spaced so that you're less likely to blend into the other circles. So you also need your blending tool. And I'll be using a dome that I've washed. So if they have a little funky color on them, don't worry, I washed them. And then we're going to apply our colors onto the back of the page. Boka Technique. Boka Technique essentially means layered circles. So with that in mind, I gathered my supplies. I gathered my circles, and we're going to start. I'm going to start with the biggest circle, and I'm actually going to start with the lightest color, which would be Lost Shadow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make an effect going down my page, bigger to smaller circles. So I'm going to start with my biggest. I'm going to, now I've never done it on this kind of mat before, so we'll see how that goes. This is just a normal cutting mat that I got from Walmart actually, which is kind of cool. Gotta keep stuff stationary, it seems. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna just kind of go inside that circle. You can already see it looks pretty cool. And then I'm going to layer it up, making sure to go off the page. And now I'm going to kind of split this down the middle, kind of. Or not the middle, but like I'm going to go from big to small, as if the snow was falling. What happens in my brain, at least, it may not actually happen like this, is that the snow is really compact and big up top, and then kind of feathers out and gets smaller as it gets closer to the ground. So that's kind of what I'm going to do with my circles. Okay, next color, let's go with some of this purple. And it may be, ooh, yeah, isn't that pretty? I kind of want this to be lighter because we are talking snow here, or at least in my photo I'm talking about snow. We never talked about it, but I am doing a snow picture. It has been since I probably moved to Kansas and Missouri, really since I moved south compared to Iowa, that we've had a big enough snow to look like that. Look at how much snow that was on my tree branch. So of course I had to take a picture, and I had to take a picture with my snowflake lights in the picture because that's fun. So yeah, I just want to document the fact that it has been several years since I've seen a snow that big. Cute, huh? I like how this is turning out already. And this is going to be a very colorful page, even though we're talking about snow. Because, as you can see, I've already die cut a whole bunch of snowflakes. And the reason I chose to do this was because snow in real life, when it's coming down, you can't actually tell that it has a crystalline pattern like these snowflakes on the left here that are die cut. They look more or less like circles. So, as a cute little nod to that, I thought I would go ahead and use my circles like that. Now, this is where I'm kind of getting into trouble because I want to use my smaller circles up here to fill in some of the gaps. So, and as I get the darker colors on here, that's something I'm going to have to think about is it going to be okay to use some of these smaller circles as I go about. And just like first and second generation stamping, I can make my circle lighter by not adding more ink to my dauber. As you can see, I added all of my colors, and then I also added all of my snowflakes that I had die cut, and I die cut those with the same colors that I used for my Boka Technique. I just colored some cardstock with the Distress Oxides and then die cut it. It was super easy. And I did the same thing with my photo mats. So you can see around the edge here, what I did is I just took all of my colors besides gray and added it to make a border, just so that everything looks a little bit more cohesive. It makes sense now why I have so much color, because I have a piece that is multicolor matting my photo. I think that snow layouts can be a little bit boring. They're not very colorful, but with this Snow Much Fun by Doodlebug, they give us permission to use some really fun colors. So I've added my snowflakes and bokeh. Now it's time to embellish. So pretty much everything that I'm using is from the odds and ends pack. Just kidding. So my little creatures that I'm going to put up here, and I'll show you, I'll do that first. So this is from the odds and ends pack. Got some cute little creatures here. I just absolutely adore them. I've got a seal and a snowman, and then I've got a little girl, because I used to be blonde at one point in my life, and no longer am I blonde. It's really funny. I feel like that kind of happened with my family, where we were super blonde when we were little, but then as we grew and got older, our blondness just went away. So now I consider myself a brunette. I am no longer blonde. And my hair tends to keep colors, so I feel like I was blue for a very long time. More than I probably should have been. Because last year, December, or was it? I think it was December 1st of 2022. Dyed my hair blue, and I was blue for a very long time, even though it was temporary. But anywho, isn't that cute? I love this. And then I'm going to add a little foam dot with the word burr right up here. I wanted to pull some of this teal color over on the right, and that's why I put that there. And then my last cluster, which is also going to hold my title, is going to go right down here, and it's going to say Hello Winter. And I'm going to give my 25 cents. You know, people say 5 cents, so I thought this was super cute. It has snowflakes, 25 cents. I'm going to move this down a little bit. I've got my journaling, which is super simple. I haven't seen this much snow in at least 8 years. Kind of shift and rotate and pull that down. And then I've got some cute clouds that I'm thinking about popping up on foam, or I might pop this up on foam. And then my final touch is going to be adding some glitter gems. I want to add the silver because silver is kind of throughout. I could go and I could pick out every single color and add it that way, but I think having the consistency of silver going from my upper right to my lower left, that is going to help with my page composition. So you don't always have to use pattern paper to make a beautiful page. Make sure to check out Paper Funday Challenge's blog. They inspire you to create cards and projects with different challenges every month, and they have different sponsors. So if you win those challenges, which are randomly chosen, you could get some digital files. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.